What's up, everybody? How you doing? That's your boy Dog from EBF Academy by English Black Friday. And guess what? Today, I'm here joined by my friend
Carina! Yay! Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much for accepting to be here.
It was hard to accept. I had to think a lot. Yeah, my studio.
Yeah.
My house.
All right, so today we're gonna have a little conversation in English, okay? We might speak a little bit in Portuguese, but this is for you to test your listening. I mean, can you really understand everything in English? I think you can. So Carina, please introduce yourself. Nobody knows who you are.
So I am Carina Fragozo. I've been a teacher for over 20 years now. I have a channel called English in Brazil, as you can read there. I also have a course called English in Brazil, and Rodrigo is one of our amazing teachers. You can have classes with him in our course.
And the link's gonna be right here.
I'm a linguist and teacher. I have 2 kids, Mateus and Luisa. I'm married. And I live in São Paulo.
You are definitely a fluent English speaker.
Am I? I can't speak English.
You passed the test. You passed the test.
Yay! I'm happy. Thank you.
Very easy, right? I mean, easy to understand. Very clear. English is so clear. How did you get that? Did you travel before? No.
I had never traveled abroad, and I was already a teacher. When I started teaching, I had never left Brazil.
Does that have to do with the name of English in Brazil? I mean, did you really get like English in Brazil?
Yeah, and also because of the presence of the language in our country. So people think that they will speak English or just see English only when they travel abroad, but that's not true. English is everywhere. English is around us. So English is here in Brazil, and you don't need to travel to be fluent in English, but you do need to be intentional.
Okay. So when you say that we have to be intentional, you mean like you have to study? What does that mean exactly?
Well, I mean, yes, we have to study, but it's not just studying, like opening the book, doing grammar exercises, close your book, and then never see English again throughout your week. No, that's not how it works. English has to be a part of your life. You have to use English as a means to consume content in English, for example. Listen to things that you like. English shouldn't be, a pain.
That's right.
It has to be cool.
Right. Yeah.
Everything's in English, You can watch series, you can listen to podcasts, you can, even watch TikTok videos in English. So you can do whatever you like doing in Portuguese, but just do this in English. But this is just one part of the process, in my view. We need immersion. That's what I talked about. So we need to be exposed to the language. And the second thing is you also need to be intentional, as I said. So you need to be aware of what you hear, what you listen, and what you read. So it's not just being exposed to the language and thinking that
I'm just gonna listen to music in English.
And it's gonna magically happen. No, it's not
really
like magic.
That, right?
No, pay attention to what people are saying. Pay attention to the form of the language. Pay attention to how people pronounce words. So this is how you will really, that's something we've just talked about it on my channel.
Talked about it.
Yeah, because Rodrigo, he speaks, with this, he speaks in many different accents, but one of these accents is the Black English vernacular. Were you intentional when you decided to speak like this? And what was your answer?
That's right. I was very intentional. Yeah. I wanted to do that. So I paid attention. It's exactly what she's saying. But what and who were your references? Like artists that you listened to or movies that you've watched?
When I was young, I didn't watch many, movies in English.
Okay.
I had access to Sessão da Tarde, Punk, Chaves, Chapolin. That's what I watched. But I did have access to music.
Okay.
So that's how I really started, learning the language and being exposed to the language.
So you're just like me listening to rap music. Right?
Oh yeah, just like you. No.
And what did you listen to?
My first international band that I started listening was Hanson. You know the story.
Yeah.
It was a boy band from the early 2000s.
2000s.
But then I started, listening to Guns N' Roses, and some songs were a little disappointing because, they talk a lot about women, but not in a very good way.
Yeah.
But I still like the band.
Yeah, the same thing happens to, Chris Brown. I was listening to the songs and I loved it, but then when I started understanding the lyrics, I was like, man, Chris Brown talking about this? But when you got to college, did you already speak English? or
basic English.
Basic.
Yeah.
So how difficult was it for you during college time?
It was very, very, very challenging because I thought the English I knew was enough to study English at the university, but it wasn't because all the classes were in English and I had to not only, study English, but study everything in English.
Okay.
So linguistics and pronunciation, phonology. So I noticed that I needed to do something to learn fast.
Okay.
Because my future really depended on this progress.
And what did you do?
I did something that nowadays I organized in a language model that I wrote in my new book that's coming soon. So basically 3 pillars. Immersion.
Okay.
So being exposed to the language, but a lot. And it's not any type of immersion. It has to be, comprehensible.
Comprehensible.
Yes, that's what Preston says.
Okay.
So the level can't be, too hard for you. You have to be able to at least understand 50%.
The context,
exactly.
You pick words here and there and expressions, but you don't have to understand 100%.
But I was thinking now, you started the opposite way because you started with hip hop.
Yes.
Yeah, so hard, right?
Yeah, but
it worked anyway.
It worked. It worked. I could not really understand what's been said.
You understood the words.
I just repeated. So I was not very worried about the meaning. I was just like, oh, what are they saying? Why are they using this word? I didn't care about it. I just wanted to sing. So I focused a lot on pronunciation.
Me too. I think that's why we have good pronunciation in English.
That's why we can speak it now and you can do it too.
Of course, we just need to practice and be patient too. Some people want to be fluent in one day. No, it takes some time. But then, immersion was my first pillar. And the second one was then being awareness, really paying attention, taking notes, being, actively taking notes so that I would review these notes later, always telling my brain that those notes, those words or expressions were important so that my brain wouldn't,
just like forget it,
exactly.
Like throw it away.
And the third pillar, something that not everybody does, practice. So people think that they will have to learn the language first and then they will be able to practice. But no. Practice is a part of the progress. People think that being able to speak is a result of the progress.
No, it is the progress.
I wanted to say process and I said progress, but that's it. So in order for you to have progress, you need to include practice and speaking in the process.
So hold on a second. So let me go back to it. So you'd say immersion, awareness, and
practice.
Well, one thing that I also find quite interesting about your English is the fact that you don't really sound Brazilian when you speak. I have a lot of students, they're all from Brazil, and they usually bring the prosody, the rhythm, the stress that comes from Brazil. For example, I'm going to try to change that a little bit. It goes like this. I have to tell you something. Because I was having a conversation with my friends.
Intonation.
And it goes like that. The intonation, I'm not saying that this is wrong, but it kind of shows where you come from, which is not a problem.
Yeah, that's so 100% okay.
For example, when I'm talking to my friend from Italy, they bring this prosody. And it's a little bit different from the prosody that we have in Brazil, right? And I don't think it's a problem because the person is communicating, but you know that the person is from Italy. So it goes, this is about prosody, about rhythm and intonation, stress, but you don't sound Brazilian to me. So how do you think you got to this level that you don't really sound Brazilian?
It's not because I really wanted to, to hide that I'm Brazilian. It's because I like studying pronunciation.
Okay.
Again, being active in the process, being aware, paying attention to the way people speak. So the more I developed my listening skills, the better I got in speaking, but also studying pronunciation. Okay. It was when I saw, because sometimes you can't just hear, because when you hear, you are influenced by your first language.
That's right.
So Portuguese. So sometimes you need to see the pronunciation. You need to see how things are pronounced. So that's when I started learning, the phonetic symbols and, studying these contrasts because I like to. It has to be, enjoyable. A nice process.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have fun. So this is one thing that I also find interesting. So did you have fun while you were learning, or English was something that was like, oh my God, I have to study that?
I had a lot of fun.
You have fun too.
Yeah. But it doesn't mean that I have never been, scared or insecure. I've felt insecure, many times. I remember in 2017, YouTube invited me to go to New York.
I remember that.
Remember that?
Yes.
To talk about my work on YouTube. I had this channel, English in Brazil. It was big, and I had to talk to an international audience. Most of them were Americans.
Okay.
And I was saying that I was, a famous English teacher in Brazil. And I was like, oh my God, what if I make a mistake here? I can't make mistakes here. Well, it's not going to be good for me because I'm saying
pressure,
that.
Right? You say, hey, you're saying that you're a teacher and you're making a.
I was so scared, so nervous, and my presentation was not good.
Really?
No, because I was too insecure, too nervous. Also because something terrible had happened one day before my cousin passed. So I wasn't having a
100%
no.
at that time.
I have the recording, I watch it, and I can see that I was nervous. My English was okay, but I feel that I could do better.
Okay.
But I did it. I just did it, So sometimes you will feel like, it could have been better, but that's okay. You can try again next time. The most important thing is spread your ideas. Nobody was paying attention to every little detail.
That's right.
That I was of my pronunciation or my grammar. All the pressure was in my mind. It was just created by me, not by anybody there.
Yeah, and that's a great message, for you. Sometimes you feel, a little under pressure. You feel that you're in a bit of a pickle in there. And just like, oh my God, I'm in trouble here. Your cousin had just passed away the day before, and you were there in front of people in New York City.
Saying that I was American. The voice, in Brazil.
Like the voice in Brazil. And that's difficult. I'm sure that your pressure is not that that much like that intense, right? So here's how I want to finish this video here. What were your milestones that you say were important moments for me?
I don't have a specific day or moment, but I remember the feeling of being able to understand the lesson. So, so now I can follow this lesson. I understand what my professor is saying, and I'm not in trouble here because I understand everything she's saying.
Nice.
So I remember this feeling. I also remember the first time I listened to a song and I understood because it was so easy. It sounded like Portuguese, and the song, I remember the song. It was, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? It was like, oh my God, I can't understand. It's so easy. So I wouldn't say when I traveled, I would say before that. When I talked to it wasn't an American from the United States, it was a person from Canada for the first time. Okay. So I felt like, my English is not just classroom English, my English is real.
Well, yeah, is there anything else you want to say to them?
All I want to say is don't forget to subscribe to this guy's channel because I really look up to you.
Thank you.
I love your work, and it's a pleasure to work with you nowadays.
Thank you.
And if you want, just check my channel too, and I have almost 1,000 videos for you to learn English there.
Yeah, so tell me here, did you understand? Did you understand 100%, 80%, 50%, 30%? Ih, teacher, entendi foi nada, que vocês falaram tudo em inglês.
Mas engajei.
E a gente se vê no próximo vídeo. Thank you very much, Carina, for this opportunity. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Bye.